But there are certain things, certain policies, which if you introduce them in a country like the UK or the US or Germany and so on, will work. But will not work if you introduce them in South Africa. That you must understand that. Therefore, they are wrong policies. Policies may be right generally somewhere else, but are wrong for South Africa. That needs to be looked at. That's why I'm saying that might have been another mistake, that we didn't understand properly the functioning of a capitalist system here in South Africa. And therefore introduce policies which are going to produce negative results. An example of that, for instance, is we had a long time ago now an international advisory council on the economy. It was made up of senior business people from around the world. There were 2 Americans who sat in that the panel committee, and they kept raising a question. And that question was, why are many of the South African corporations, why do they hold such large volumes of assets as cash, abnormally high in terms of international business standards? So each time we met twice a year. And each time we met, they would pose this question. And we kept running away from it. The reason we're running away from it, because we're embarrassed. Because the reason for that was that a lot of your big corporates were uncertain about the future of the country. They proceed from the position that this South Africa, this transition which took place from apartheid to democracy was too good to be true. Sooner or later, something is going to explode. After all, this is an African country. Now, once you put your money in building a factory, you have to run. You have to run because something has exploded. You can't run with the factory. But with the cash you can. Which is why the companies maintained high liquidity rates, because of their uncertainty about the future. Now, what I'm being told now by some people who are more knowledgeable than I, that we're back to the same phenomenon. Among the corporate world, a lot of uncertainty about the future of this country, and one doesn't blame them. And the consequence is, let us take as many of our assets out of the country as possible, because we don't know what's going to happen here. So the IMF man was saying, when you introduce particular policies to impact on South African capitalist economy, don't expect that necessarily it will behave in the same way as would happen in the UK or the US. And he was right. And part of the reason was exactly that the sentiment of the business community here about the future of the country would be different.